Good evening, the 20th of October 2024. We are celebrating our heroes on Mashujaa Day. Those that have in one way or another made impact on our lives, economically, on a personal level. We all honor you, given that it's not every hero that wears a cap. So congratulate yourself if you're doing something to someone with no conditions whatsoever. Happy Mashujaa Day. Now, upcoming, we're going to be looking at the first ever celebrations in the absence of a deputy president. That is what was happening in Kwale, and we were there for it. Before we get to the details of that, let's have a sneak peek of what Sunday Express is all about tonight.
As we speak today, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, has no single security officer around him.
Gachagua's woes. Impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says his life is in danger. Mashujaa Day celebrations. Kenya marks Mashujaa Day with the government committing 4 billion shillings towards affordable housing materials. Building collapse. An unknown number of people trapped in a building that collapsed in Kahawa West, Nairobi. And Wajir MCA dead. Wajir MCA Yusuf Hussein Ahmed found dead in Lake Yahud in Wajir a month after he went missing. Good evening. This is Sunday Express. I'm Regina Manyara, and my colleague on sign language is none other than Byron Abule. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua now claims there were 2 attempts on his life. The first attempt in August while in Kisumu, and the second in September while in Nyeri prior to his impeachment. Expressing fears for his life, Gachagua narrated how his security detail was withdrawn while he was admitted in hospital soon after the Senate impeached him. Gachagua, however, said he is still the deputy president, courtesy of the court orders issued on Friday, expressing optimism that the court will rule in his favor. Here's Give Us on Minor.
3 days after he was taken ill on Thursday afternoon, impeached President Rigathi Gachagua was on Sunday discharged from Karen Hospital. Gachagua, who was flanked by his family and friends, claimed his impeachment was the culmination of 2 attempts on his life.
And for the first time, let me say that on 30th of August in Kisumu, undercover security agents entered my room in Kisumu and bagged it, and one of them tried to poison my food. In Nyeri, another team from the National Intelligence Service came to Nyeri and tried to poison food that was meant for me and Kikuyu Council of Elders. I did report this matter to the National Intelligence Service.
Narrating his ordeal, Gachagua revealed how the withdrawal of his security detail had left him feeling unsafe.
As we speak today, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, has no single security officer around him. Yeah, many of his people are calling here asking whether I'm dead, whether I'll survive, whether I'll recover. They were celebrating.
His tribulations, Gachagua said, were brought about by his varied stance on policy issues.
And the crime of this man, telling you the truth, don't evict people without compensation, Mr. President. Mr. President, don't overtax people.
He, however, maintained that despite the humiliation, he remains the deputy president, courtesy of the court orders ahead of the hearing next week.
The courts told us they don't want to interfere with the process, to let the parliamentary process get finished and then go to them. We have gone to them now. It's over. The courts will interrogate the process. and make a determination.
He claimed a plot to bar his attendance of the Mashujaa Day celebration in Kwale.
I know there was concerted effort that I should not go to Kwale for the celebration. Wilson Airport were told that I should not go through Wilson Airport. All owners of helicopters were told that I should not be allowed to use any of them to go to Kwale. I don't have to have drivers, I don't have to have cars. Please allow me to have my peace. Please, I don't want to see him alone.
Gachagua's ordeal at some moment causing his family to break down. Gachagua, who arrived at the hospital with all the retinue of a VIP motorcade and tight security, was now living in a private car with just his family. Giverson Manyara, Sunday Express.
Will the courts save Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's political future? We'll wait and see, and that is all next week. However, now impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has come out of hospital a different character from the one who was top cheerleader of President William Ruto, who used to praise his boss at almost every opportunity he got to address the nation. Now, the embattled DP, speaking at Karen Hospital, described his boss as a vicious man who turned against the man who helped him become president. Our reporter Kahawa West puts into perspective Rigathi's character transformation.
166 days prior his impeachment from office, Rigathi Gachagua, serving as President William Ruto's principal assistant, never shied away from praising his boss and glorifying his leadership. So much so that barely a year after the duo were elected to presidency in August 2023, Rigathi crowned Ruto as Mount Kenya kingpin during an interdenominational service held at Sagana State Lodge.
We were convinced by experience, reason, and proven track record that William Ruto, the doctor, had a plan to transform the economic fortunes of our people. And that is why we made that decision.
The praises for Ruto by Rigathi continued for another 1 year, even when Kenyans raised concerns over the president's leadership.
Watu wanaongea mambo mengi, mambo ya uchumi, nini. Wacha mimi niwaambie watu ya Baringo. Huyu William Ruto, rais wetu, kijana wenu hapa nyumbani. Mimi ndio naketi naye pale. Na kama kuna kiongozi katika jamhuri yako na bidii, ni huyu rais wetu. Saa 11 asubuhi ameamka kwa ofisi mpaka saa 6 usiku. Mpaka hao vijana wetu sasa mawaziri wanaanza kulia ati aende polepole, ndio pia waende polepole. Rais usipunguze spidi, ongeza ndio wao pia waongeze. Mimi na rais tunafanya kazi nzuri, tunapendana, tunapanga kazi yetu. Amenipatia kazi mingi, hata ingine inanishinda. Ameniwezesha kuendelea na kazi yangu. Kwa hivyo serikali yetu iko imara, tunaendelea na kazi. Ni kila mtu sasa amekuja kujua ukweli. Rais William Ruto ni kiongozi wa kuaminika, ni kiongozi mzalendo, ni kiongozi wa kuunganisha watu, ni kiongozi hana ukabila, ni kiongozi wa kuchunga watu wake.
Indeed, 5 months ago, when Kenyans criticized President William Ruto's numerous trips abroad, his deputy was first to defend the trips.
Hiyo kama rais angenituma hiyo kazi, unajua mimi ni mtu ya kusema ukweli, hiyo singewezana nayo. Hiyo kiwango yangu iko chini kidogo. Lakini mimi naendelea kuimprove, si ni pole pole. Sasa nikiendelea mwaka 2, 3, 4, 5, labda nitakaribia hiyo kiwango ya rais. Ameongea mpaka wale wazungu wameshtuka. Wacha hii wazungu washtuka ndio watoe pesa, si ndio?
Similarly, in the wake of anti-government protests, Rigathi lauded the president for engaging Kenyans on X space, terming it a turning point toward good governance.
There will be no division in this government. President William Ruto and I talk the same language. We consult, we agree, and we move on.
And when the opposition joined Kenya Kwanza regime to form broad-based government.
So rais amefanya mzuri na mimi nampongeza sana. Amefungua Kenya. Amesema tuongee na tupendane
na tutafute urafiki.
But the impeachment seems to have changed all that, with Gachagua seeing nothing good in the character of President William Ruto.
I didn't know President William Ruto can be that vicious. I am shocked by how vicious a man I helped to be president, a man that I believed in, a man that I was persecuted when supporting him, could so be so vicious against me when I'm literally fighting for my life in hospital. How cruel can a man be?
The president is, however, yet to respond to these allegations. Gishoki Washira, Sunday Express.
Now from Kwale, the government has set aside over 4 billion shillings to pay enterprises and businesses supplying material to the affordable housing project. President William Ruto says the payments to suppliers and the job opportunities available at 75 affordable housing sites across the country point to the government's commitment to reduce poverty and the resultant indignity. The head of state made those announcements while in Kwale County when he led the nation celebrating this year's Mashujaa Day.
This year's Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kwale County were held under the theme Affordable Housing, being one of the flagship government projects.
Pongezi kwake raisi kuleta mradi huu. Hizi nyumba sio ghali, bei zake si za juu.
President William Ruto sought to allay fears that the initiative was a white elephant. With a target of 200,000 low-cost houses every year, President Ruto announced the setting aside of 4.4 billion shillings for the payment of supplies by enterprises.
The program's benefits extend beyond housing. So far, the Affordable Housing Program has created over 160,000 jobs throughout the housing value chain. While the industry remains predominantly male, we are working to increase female participation to 30%, up from the current 20%. Our collaboration with the Juakali sector has demonstrated the Affordable Housing Program's significant potential to transform local manufacturing.
In what could be music to the ears of small and medium enterprises struggling to do business with government, President Ruto said the payments and the job opportunities across 37 counties in affordable housing project sites will empower majority of households.
This initiative aims to tackle the deficit that has left many Kenyans living in insecure, unsanitary, and poorly constructed dwellings, and also fostering the growth of sustainable communities and generating jobs and opportunities across many other sectors.
While encouraging Kenyans to enlist themselves to benefit from the houses through the Boma Yangu platform, the head of state decried the deplorable nature of life for urban dwellers, calling for swift action.
We all know that the future is urban. 60% of our population, not just in Kenya, but globally, will be living in urban areas. That is not a choice we can make. That is what's going to happen. But we can make a choice as to what kind of living, what kind of settlements these 60% of our citizens who will be living in urban areas, how they will live. Either they will live in slums or they will live in decent dwellings.
Kwa hii mradi ya Boma Yangu na hii affordable yenye umetuletea Your Excellency, nyumba zetu huko tunaona mtaa zimeamka na tunatarajia tunakaa nyumba mzuri yenye iko na stima, iko na maji, iko na shower na hata kitchen iko kando, Mheshimiwa Rais.
1,080 beneficiaries of a Mukuru Affordable Housing Project studio apartments will receive keys to their homes in December.
These stories illustrate how the Affordable Housing Program is empowering ordinary citizens, affirming their dignity and opening pathways for financial independence.
Through affordable mortgages, the president says the government will be on course to achieving the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. President William Ruto has billed the Affordable Housing Project as the silver bullet to ending inequality on issues housing. The 4 billion shillings that will be released by government beginning next week hopes to further the bottom-up economic agenda of empowering micro, small and medium enterprises. John Jacob Curia, Sunday Express from Kwale County.
Well, at the same time, President William Ruto has urged Kenyans to be patient with the new health system, saying service will run smoothly once the migration is complete. While leading Kenyans in marking the Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kwale County, President Ruto maintained the Social Health Authority will ensure equal health for all. The president also announced that debts owed to hospitals and other stakeholders by the defunct National Health Insurance Fund will be settled from next week. Here's Kamche Menza with more.
It was during the Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kwale County that President William Ruto sought to address the issues surrounding the rollout of the new health scheme.
The value for money in this scheme will be undeniable once the migration from the National Health Insurance Fund is completed and the fund is fully operational. Ladies and gentlemen, the time for doubt and anxiety is slowly but surely getting behind us, and the space for criticism, skepticism, and pessimism is over. Real change ushers us into unfamiliar places.
Reiterating the vision under the Kenya Kwanza administration bottom-up agenda, President Ruto affirmed the objective is to ensure universal healthcare coverage for all.
We must not allow the fear of change to imprison us in the past, and we must have greater faith in our collective capacity to achieve inclusive transformation and usher in progress that leaves no one behind. I call on all Kenyans. I call on all Kenyans to have faith and a little patience. In matters of weeks, or in a matter of weeks, SHIF will be serving us efficiently and making the dream of universal coverage come true.
The Social Health Authority, which came into operation on the 1st of October this year, has had its fair share of teething problems. President Ruto also assured employees of the defunct National Health Insurance Fund and those owed money that all is well.
The government of Kenya has released 3 billion shillings to settle outstanding payments to hospitals and other service providers. I know this has been a major concern for hospitals that are owed by the former NHIF a lot of money. I want to give them my assurance that from next week, we have already released the money that will go into settling some of the debts that have held back their services under our new program.
The head of state said all public health facilities have been onboarded and urged private facilities which are yet to do so to embrace the new scheme. With about 13 million Kenyans having already registered for the new health scheme, the president's assurance for smooth services once the migration is complete is a welcome move meant to end untold suffering by patients who may have had to pay out of pocket for services that would have otherwise been covered. Kamche Menza for Sunday Express at the Kwale Stadium, Kwale County.
Now that beat by Kamche Menza takes us to a fast break tonight on Sunday Express. We'll be right back.
Hapa ni Butterfly Care Center. Na watoto hao wanahitaji proper improvement kwa dormitories, classroom, kitchen, vyoo, mahali pa kuogea na mahali pa kuchezea. Pamoja tuna nguvu na ndio maana star 570 hash option 4 kuna probox na 1 million Kenyan shillings. Inamaanisha kila stick ambao unacheza nayo ili kushinda probox au 1 million, part of it inatengwa ili kuimarisha maisha ya watoto wa Butterfly Care Center. Iko na ni mpya na inakufaa na ni star 570 hash option ya 4. Pamoja tuchezi tu, tunasaidia na tunashinda.
Welcome to the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, or KDIC, a state corporation established under the KDI Act Cap 487C. But who exactly are we? KDIC provides a deposit insurance for customers of member institutions. This means we protect your hard-earned money deposited in banks, giving you peace of mind knowing that your savings are safe. KDIC is also mandated to receive, liquidate, and wind up troubled banks, as well as provide incentives for sound risk management. We are here to protect your bank deposit and, together with other safety net players, ensure a stable financial system. KDIC, safer, stronger, together.
Are you a holder of unclaimed financial assets? All holders are notified to report and surrender unclaimed financial assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, on or before November 1st, 2024. It is now easier to report and surrender. Visit www.ufaa.go.ke and get started to beat the November 1st deadline. It's your turn. Report and surrender today. Please note that failure to report and surrender qualifying unclaimed financial assets attract penalties and sanctions in line with Section 33 of the UFA Act 2011. UFAA. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Welcome back. You're still watching Sunday Express. Now, President William Ruto says that the government is united by a principled commitment to confront an unjust and exclusive as well as oppressive system in pursuit of the noble vision of national liberation. He was speaking during the Mashujaa Day national celebrations in Kwale County, where the Commander-in-Chief stated that no community is greater than the other and all regions will benefit from development projects, irrespective of political inclination. As Abdiaziz Hashim now reports, for the first time since assuming office, President Ruto presided over the national celebration without our deputy president.
The Mashujaa Day national celebrations in Kwale County was a little bit different this year. This is after Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was impeached by Parliament, and he later sought judicial interpretation of the decision, a situation which has created a vacuum in the position. Consequently, it is the Interior Cabinet Secretary and Deputy President nominee, Professor Kithure Kindiki, who received President William Ruto at Kwale Stadium.
How are you?
It was the first national holiday celebrations the president has presided over without his second-in-command in attendance. The speech's protocol was also amended to allow Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi to invite the head of state to address the nation.
We have learned that to be free, we must be united as one family that draws its strength from the unique contribution of its diverse members, and that we must see each other as equals.
In his speech, the head of state alluded to the woes facing Gachagua, assuring Kenyans of equal distribution of resources devoid of political alliances.
Our heroes did not hail from one village or speak one language. Our heroes are numerous and diverse, united by a principled commitment to confront an unjust, exclusive, and oppressive system in pursuit of a noble vision of national liberation.
The president told off political leaders sowing seeds of tribalism to divide the country.
Mekatilili Wamenza did not seek to free her village or region from occupation by a community. Instead, she resisted the structures and institutions of a system of exploitation and tyranny in the knowledge that defeating it would free a whole nation.
Leaders who attended the celebrations called for an end to succession politics.
Instead of reacting, we need to manage our situations. I think so far so good. We have a new deputy president. We have a lot of faith in him. He's somebody who has been in government for a long time, and he's been our colleague also. I think we are going to even do better than what you've been doing.
Both houses of the country, National Assembly and Senate, made their verdicts. The other party is still pursuing their constitutional rights. We just ask everybody to be peaceful and let all the processes take its course.
And we also thank the president. He didn't interfere with that process. He did not call us. He did not instruct any member on what to do, because he appreciates the fact that we are independent.
Abdiaziz Hashim from Kwale Stadium, Sunday Express.
Now, still from Kwale, thousands of Kenyans flocked to the newly refurbished Kwale Stadium in Matuga, Kwale County, to attend the National Mashujaa Day celebrations. Not only did Kwale County host a national celebration for the first time, but the military guard of honor was also for the first time commanded by a female officer. Here's Ann Boro with the sights and sounds from the Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kwale.
At the break of dawn, these are the sights at the newly constructed Kwale Stadium. Kenyans from all walks of life and from far and wide streamed into the stadium as police tightened security at each entrance. On the stands, a colorful view of the students sat in an arrangement that exhibited the Kenyan flag. Others chose to dress in the national flag's colors.
Mimi nikifaa hivi nasikianga poa, ninajua ni mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo na ninafurahia sana. Kila sikukuu yote mimi nafaa hivi.
Melodies from the Maroon Commandos band rent the air. The traditional guard of honor was for the first time led by a female officer, Lieutenant Colonel Faith Mwagandi. Then came the fly past.
Tumeshuhudia angani zikiwa katika 4-ship box formation. Tuwape makofi marubani wetu tafadhali.
To depict the event's affordable housing theme, students formed a map of Kenya, then a story house, and the word Bomayangu, completing the sight to behold. Songs and dances then took center stage with Swahili classical. These were blended with the contemporary hits, Anguka Nayo.
Anguka now, check it. Anguka now, turn it down low now. Stand up to your feet, mikono juu alafu.
For Sunday Express from Kwale County, I am Ann Boro.
So how was Mashujaa Day marked across the counties, where all 47 counties that is Kenyans honoring the country's heroes and heroines? The festivities were held amid repeated calls for unity and enhanced security as leaders urged elected officials and citizens alike to unite for the good of the country.
We start our Mashujaa Day celebrations counties edition in West Pokot County, where Governor Simon Kachapin called for unity among elected leaders and all Kenyans at large.
Asa wabunge wanataka nitoe matamshi mabaya kuchoshea. That's not my brand of politics. Hiyo si mimi. Kwa sababu tunapigania ukabila. Na maagencies wametuambia they don't want mambo ya tribalism.
The same message was delivered at Ildamart Stadium in Kajiado County by Governor Joseph Ole Lenku. In Mombasa County, Commissioner Mohamed Noor assured residents and visitors of enhanced security following a rise in motorcycle-related thefts.
Mambo ya criminals wale ambao wanatumia motorbike, tunasaidiana na ofisi ya DCI kutuweza kutambua hao, na tungeomba pia wananchi waweze kutusaidia. Lakini kama serikali tutazidi kuweka askari wengi kuona kwamba hao wamekabiliwa na wameshikwa.
Security concerns also dominated celebrations at Ihura Stadium in Murang'a County, where Commissioner Joshua Kanatha noted a rise in school break-ins. He emphasized that security will be tightened in all examination centers as candidates prepare for national exams.
Vitengo vyetu vya usalama vinafanya kazi, na kama vile tunaongea saa hizi tuko na watu ambao tumeshika na wako ndani, na tuko na uhakika kitabu tumalizana na wao tutakuwa tumemalizana hiyo shinda ya kuingia kwa mashule na kupiga watchman na kuwafunga.
Similarly, Narok County residents were assured of enhanced security and urged to support the National Affordable Housing Project by Governor Patrick Ole Ntutu and County Commissioner Kipkech Lotiatia.
My administration look forward to collaborating with the national government to develop affordable housing units within the county, contributing to the provision of safe, secure shelter for our citizens.
Security concerns also dominated celebrations at Ihura Stadium in Murang'a County, where Commissioner Joshua Kanatha noted a rise in school break-ins. He emphasized that security will be tightened in all examination centers as candidates prepare for national exams.
Vitengo vyetu vya usalama vinafanya kazi, na kama vile tunaongea saa hizi tuko na watu ambao tumeshika na wako ndani, na tuko na uhakika kitambo tumalizana na wao tutakuwa tumemalizana hiyo shinda ya kuingia kwa mashule na kupiga watchman na kuwafunga.
Security also took center stage in Kisumu County, where calls for a more collaborative approach with members of the public were made to help stop a wave in insecurity that has hit the region in recent times.
The police must keep an eye and help regulate border operations, especially at night across the sub-county. We have competent police commanders, and I trust that this wave of insecurity will be nipped in the bud.
Leaders from Garissa County have raised concerns over increased cases of triple threat and other sexual-related vices in the county.
These include gang raping, which was never known in Garissa, sodomy, which was never known in Garissa, defilements, drug abuse, and GBV, increased GBV activities. So what I've said is that today we are announcing a serious fight against these vices.
In Manyara County, Governor Mohammed Adan Khalif highlighted the need to recognize both national and local heroes, particularly in education, health, security, and community development. In Makueni County, Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. highlighted his administration's achievements across various sectors, including agriculture, health, and infrastructure.
People of Makueni, I am extremely disturbed that 151 health facilities or more in Makueni have one nurse. I have now made a commitment and I have made a plan to ensure that through a local program, our facilities will remain open throughout.
And Kiambu County residents remain hopeful that the economy will stabilize despite the challenging times. During Mashujaa Day celebrations, they urged politicians to set aside their differences and work together for the nation's progress.
Kila jambo na wakati yake. Na vile katika hii dunia, tukiangalia vizuri, tukienda na dalili kama hizi, sisi yenyewe ndio tutaumia raia ambayo tuko katika maangangano ya kazi.
Finally, Migori Governor Dr. Uchilo Ayako has urged public workers to work in collaboration with the President so as to achieve the government bottom-up transformative agenda.
Mheshimiwa Deputy President Gachagua, I know that impeachment is a very painful thing. But if you cannot work with the President of the day who is mandated to serve all Kenyans, I can assure you, you do not understand the pain the Kenyans who need service are going through.
Kasichana Masha, Sunday Express.
Now, the family of Wajir Member of County Assembly Yusuf Hussein Ahmed has positively identified the body of the MCA after he was found dead at Lake Yahud, Wajir County. The MCA went missing on September 13th this year in what his family alleged was an abduction carried out by detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. The family, alongside other MCAs from Wajir and Mandera counties, had filed a habeas corpus at the Milimani High Court demanding he be produced in court, dead or alive. Justice Lawrence Mugambi had ordered he be produced in court by security apparatus, but he was yet to be presented. The body of the late was taken to the Wajir Hospital mortuary for DNA analysis. Quite sad there. Now, rescue teams continue to comb through the remains of a 7-story building that came down on Sunday morning in Kahawa West Estate, Nairobi County, amid the fears that some people may have been trapped inside. Nairobi Governor James Mashujaa says that the reports indicate that one person has been trapped in the building, saying that those who lived in the building had been vacated.
This is what used to be the building that came down on Sunday morning at Kahawa West Estate in Nairobi County. Although there are fears that some people may have been trapped inside, Nairobi Deputy Governor James Mashujaa says reports indicate that only one person has been trapped inside after a 2-week notice has been issued for the occupiers to vacate.
We want to go meticulously through the site to confirm that indeed there is nobody else left in there, so that we can then take the next steps to understand the circumstances and the issues that are here.
He also called on the area residents to stay away from buildings that have been marked dangerous.
Wale wananchi ambao wanaishi hapo wanaelewa ni kwamba hilo sio jengo la kuishi tena. Watoke haraka iwezekanavyo kwa sababu washaona hii jengo liko na tatizo.
This bordering building was not spared either. A huge part of it was destroyed during the incident, leaving some of its occupiers with injuries.
Kufika kazini napigiwa simu na jirani, ananiambia nyumba yenye iko next imeanguka na imeangukia yetu na mzee wako amelaliwa ndani. Nikakuja, tumempeleka hospitali KU referral, amepigwa x-ray, amepatikana na minor injuries, hajaumia sana.
They are also stranded as they have been asked not to return to their houses, but they say they have nowhere else to go. The rescue teams that include Red Cross, Kenya Defence Forces, Team Sakaja and police using sniffer dogs continue to comb through the debris. Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
Now, it is Mashujaa Day, and there's a say that not all heroes wear caps. And tonight, we are honoring a 10-year-old girl who is definitely taking the country, if not the globe, by storm. She's a climate mitigation and adaptation activist there. We're talking about none other than Alice Wanjiru. Karibu sana to the set. Thank you for making time, Alice.
Okay, so...
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome. Feel free. So let's start off with giving us a brief view of who Alice Wanjiru is and what she stands for.
Okay, so my name is Alice Wanjiru, 10 years old.
Yes.
I'm currently the ambassador for NEMA and also the ambassador for Kenya Scouts Association. I am passionate about the environment and how to combat the climate change issues.
Oh, wow. So tell me, Alice, you're 10 and you're already tackling climate change issues. When did this dream of yours begin? At what led you, or rather, what was your motivation?
3 years since I had grown 20,000 trees. I had participated in various environmental activities such as ocean cleanups, and so far I have a dream of planting 1 million trees by the year 2032.
By the year 2032?
Yes.
So what actually motivated you to growing trees?
At 7, my dad came home with a newspaper, and on one of the articles it stated that in the next 50 years, Nairobi won't be habitable. So then I, as Alice, decided to do something about it.
And how has been the journey? You know, you're 10 years old, you are in school. How do you manage, you know, your activities, growing trees, and also your studies? How do you strike a balance?
On the weekends, I normally go to my dad's hotel to plant trees. I also have my own tree nursery, and I also have my own forest called the Afro Forest.
The Afro Forest?
Yes.
So tell us, what do you grow in your Afro Forest?
I grow indigenous trees, such as the Africana purana.
Africana purana?
Yes.
Okay.
And fruit trees, such as apple trees, that benefit the environment, and also other people that you'd find that there are other people who are not privileged, so then they can't afford to have fruits and food on their table, so that fruits can help with income and such.
So basically you're also making money while at it?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
That is interesting. Now, you are also, you also have a foundation,
Yes.
the Green Hummingbird Foundation.
Yes.
By any chance, were you inspired by Wangari Maathai's story? Because whenever I hear hummingbird, I always remember that in her lifetime, she told a story about a hummingbird and what the hummingbird did to actually try and stop the fire in the forest. Is she one of the people you look up to?
Professor Wangari Maathai narrated a story about a hummingbird that did the best it could to save the forest from catching fire.
Yes.
So then it would go to the nearest river and take a drop of water and then pour it on the forest when it was burning. So then to stop the fire from getting bigger, so then it doesn't damage the forest. And then she quoted that we should always be like a hummingbird. I may be insignificant, but I certainly don't want to be like the animals that watch as the planet goes down the drain. I will be a hummingbird, and I will do the best I can.
It seems you're familiar with that story.
Yeah.
Is that the place where you drew your inspiration to start off your foundation?
Wangari Maathai inspired me because of her efforts towards the environment. I'm sure she has inspired a lot more kids than I in environmental efforts and environmental conscious projects. So I think she has inspired far more people, and that's why she was even able to win the Nobel Peace Prize, because she fought for Uhuru Gardens, she fought for Kahawa Forest, and so more for the environment.
So now you have an ambition to grow 1 million trees, yes? By 2032. That is quite ambitious.
Yes.
How do you intend to actually do this? How are you going to go about it?
The Kenya Scouts Association has supported me throughout my journey since I started my foundation, and I have also NEMA, and so then I have appointed 2.2 million scouts to come and help me achieve my dream of planting 1 million trees by the year 2032, and also to plant 1 million trees in 5 minutes.
Wow, that might actually get you into the Guinness Book of Records if you achieve that. So now with this planting a tree, what's the difference between planting a tree and actually growing a tree?
You'd find that some people, they just plant trees and then they leave it like that, and they think that the tree can grow in itself without care and watering it and growing it. But actually you need to grow the tree, so then it can come to help you, because you can't just leave the tree there and expect it to grow on its own and to be on its own and to grow perfectly and then give you what you need.
So we need to take care of our trees.
Yes.
Okay. Grown-ups have had this conversation on climate change, climate mitigation. Do you think we are doing enough as grown-ups, as adults actually, when it comes to including children in climate-centric projects? Or do you think we need to do more?
I think adults need to do more about involving children into environmentally conscious projects, such as my project, which is to encourage children to plant trees on their birthdays and to also avoid littering and other ways that harm the environment.
Tell me about this project where you're having children now also participate in tree growing? How does it go about?
So basically, you'd find that you may be 10 years, you may be 9 years, you may be 8 years. So then if you're 8 years, you plant 8 trees during a birthday. If you're 10 years, you plant 10 trees during a birthday. If you're 9 years, you plant 9 trees during a birthday.
So now you're targeting children. So if I'm not going to mention my age, I get to plant the equal number of trees to my age. That way we are helping, or rather we are doing what is called afforestation, and also just planting or rather growing trees. How has it been? How are children taking that instead of doing wild parties and such, we actually grow trees? What are they saying? What are your peers saying about that?
They're saying it's great that I am doing something to protect our environment and to make our environment better for everyone else.
Is this a project that grown-ups can participate in?
Yes, also grown-ups can participate and also support their children to plant and to avoid littering and other ways that harm the environment.
So now, when you attain maturity, when you're an adult, what would Alice Wanjiru want to pursue professionally? What would you want to be?
Me personally, even if I'm an environmentalist, I would like to be a doctor, pursuing dermatology, so then I can help other people, with people who have skin problems. I can help them so then they don't end up in a worse situation.
What is inspiration to want to be a doctor, specifically dealing with dermatology? What is inspiration?
I used to have eczema when I was young, so I used to go to the hospital a lot. So it's kind of inspired me to
also help others. Now, we're celebrating heroes today, it's Mashujaa Day. Would you term yourself as a hero? Would you refer to yourself as a hero?
Maybe, because I'm encouraging other people to care about the environment. The same way when Rigathi did encourage people to grow trees and to plant trees, the same way I am doing. So then I would consider myself a hero.
Okay, congratulations, because here at KBC Channel 1, we view you as a hero because you're doing something that is positive, not only just for yourself, but also for the greater good of the country as far as environment is concerned. So in your circle of heroes, I know you've had people who've supported you and such. Who would you want to honor today, and why are you honoring them?
I'd like to thank you, my dad, first for encouraging me and for also taking me this far, because before this I had went on a trip to Britain for a Scouts event, and I also planted a few trees in Screens Park, and I also was able to go to Germany where the president was, President William Ruto was, where he was talking about Pamoja and how Germany and Kenya go together. So then I was also able to be able to communicate with the president, and
Wow, so you've had an opportunity to have a one-on-one with our president. Who else do you consider your hero? You've already mentioned your dad, maybe for the support that he's given you thus far. Who else would you want to honor as a hero?
My mom, also, because she's been supporting me through my journey and how to, she's been supporting me, she's been showing me the right ways to go, and
So your mom and your dad are your heroes for today. So congratulations. Now, parting short, Alice, I would want you to, what do you think is the main challenge, when it comes to matters of climate change in the country? We have several cases of, climate disasters. We can talk about floods. We experienced floods. Sometime last year, we experienced drought. In your capacity as an environmentalist, what do you think we need to do?
We need to include young people, such as me, and also adults in environmental projects and other ways to take care of the environment. And also we should be able to have a good mindset that enables us to think way further on protecting the environment and taking care of the environment.
Parting short today on Mashujaa Day, I'm giving you an opportunity to just say a word of encouragement to the children who may be watching, parents, your teachers, you know, as we are honoring our heroes and heroines today on Mashujaa Day. What unique message would you have from Alice Wanjiru? You can direct that directly to the camera in front of you. That is camera 1. That is a special message from our hero today. Take it away.
My fellow kids, I'd like to say that we should protect the environment, we should take care of the environment. We should not litter, we shouldn't do anything that's going to harm the environment. We should also think further about the environment and how to combat climate change issues. And I would like to say that we don't have another planet, so we have to take care of this one. So we roll up our sleeves and get to work.
I will not water that down. That is a message tonight by a heroine in studio, none other than 10-year-old Alice Wanjiru, who is a climate champion and an ambassador for the Green Hummingbird Foundation, a foundation that is trying to bring children into the fold when it comes to matters of climate change mitigation and adaptation. We'll now take a quick breather. We'll be back with more on Sunday Express. Do not go away.
A family emergency.
Hey, I hope it was very serious indeed.
But let me ask you, look at her. Hey, which similar superstar has a fashion sense like Kamene?
Who cares? Ebu amukie kiti yangu, mimi sijazoea kuketi kwa hizi vitu zingine.
I'm a gym instructor and a nutritionist.
Demo, so you can make a menu specifically for myself.
But watch majeso yako, so you send Kenyanju to come and pick your kids.
Hizo sasa ni hekaya.
The teacher, what is your car's number plate?
KCV.
Did you say KCV?
What happened to Manas?
Nataka chapo.
It is not a sira. I don't like your demo.
Sasa ni mtu gani wametuletea hapa?
Ah?
Na kwani umevaa aje wewe? Unajua wewe ndiye mzee wetu.
Hey, what's name?
Wewe kuja.
Nikirusha, unachukua, unaweka. Wa.
Yaani mwanaume msitaalamu. Hiyo madhaa yote mtaona nakaa poa.
Okay, wapi?
Wago niero kama ano. Hallelujah.
Sasa ni nini unafanya?
Nimefanya nini sinamaza? Unajua unakuja pale kwa MC unanitoa aje hivyo?
Harusi tunayo hatuna? Hatuna. Leo ni siku ya mashujaa.
A very good evening and welcome to Sunday Express Sports. I'm Bernard Okumu, and we begin with soccer where hosts Tanzania beat rivals Kenya 2-1 to win the Sekafa Region AFCON Under-20 qualifiers final at KMC Stadium in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Both Tanzania and Kenya will represent the Sekafa region at next year's AFCON Under-20 finals in South Africa.
AFC Leopards forward Hassan Benja gave Rising Stars the lead 2 minutes into the second half. Valentino Mashaka equalized for Tanzania in the 65th minute before Sheikh Hamis won it for the host nation with a stunning left-footed volley from outside the box. The two finalists had met in the group matches of the competition where Kenya beat Tanzania 2-1. Rising Stars then drew 0-0 against Rwanda, followed by a 4-0 win over Djibouti before seeing off Sudan with a similar scoreline to qualify for the semi-finals as Group A winners. Both Tanzania and Kenya will represent the Sekafa region at the next year's AFCON Under-20 competition set to be held in South Africa. For Sunday Express, I'm Daniel Wendwa.
And to athletics now, where Kenya's Winfrida Moseti clocked 2 hours, 16 minutes and 27 seconds to finish third in this year's Amsterdam Marathon. Now Ethiopia's Yalamzaf Yehulai won the race after clocking 2 hours, 16 minutes and 52 seconds ahead of compatriot Haven Hailu, who clocked 2 hours, 19 minutes and 29 seconds to settle for third position. Ethiopia's Segai Getachew clocked 2 hours, 5 minutes and 38 seconds to win the men's race ahead of Bokia Sefa and Meru Teferi, who completed the podium positions. Kenya's Justice Kangogo finished 4th after clocking 2 hours, 6 minutes and 45 seconds, while compatriots Kennedy Kimutai and Felix Kipkoech finished 5th and 6th respectively. And the 2023 inaugural Sakaja Super Cup football tournament champions Githurai All-Stars registered a 1-0 victory over hosts Dandora Youth at the newly refurbished Dandora Stadium. Now, the striker Patrick Lugo scored the lone goal in the 65th minute from outside the box, beating Dandora Youth goalkeeper Felix Mutie, who fumbled the shot. The Sakaja Super Cup aims to foster grassroots football development across Nairobi County by offering young talents an parallel platform to showcase their talents. And still on soccer, where the Kenya Under-17 women's soccer team Junior Starlets held their final training session at VSTS Park Central ahead of their second FIFA Under-17 World Cup Group C match against North Korea tonight in the Dominican Republic. The Kenyan girls lost their opening match 2-0 to England after putting up a gallant performance. Junior Starlets must now register a win over tricky North Korea to put their campaign back on track. A win for North Korea and England, who will be up against Mexico in Santiago, will secure progression to the quarter-finals. Group D matches continue with table-topping Brazil looking to secure back-to-back wins, while Japan, Poland and Zambia are searching for their first win of the tournament in Santo Domingo. Zambia will take on Poland, while Brazil will face Japan.
Tulicheza and for real we gave our best. Najua haikuwa rahisi, but right now at least tumekuwa na experience. At least tumecheza na England, juu ikuwa timu rahisi, and tunaenda kuface North Korea. Tunajua pia nayo si rahisi, but tunaenda kudeal nao jinsi tutakavyowezeshwa tu.
Tension kwa game ya kwanza, of course kuna wale walikuwa nayo kidogo, lakini kwa game ya pili nao wameshasettle, washajua level ya competition gani, washajua opponent standards zenye wako, so ndio kujituma.
And indeed, with the first match under their belt and with the nerves having settled, we wish Junior Starlets all the best. We hope that they'll give up a strong display in their second match tonight, beginning at 11 p.m. East Africa time against North Korea in their second match of the Under-17 FIFA Women's World Cup. To World Rally Championship now, where the fight for this year's FIA World Rally Championship is set to go down to the wire after Oitana claimed a dramatic victory at Central European Rally. In yet another twisted to what has been a thrilling 2024 season, Tanak took the win by 7.0 seconds after Sebastian Ogier crashed his Toyota GR Yaris Rally 1 hybrid car on a left-hand corner in the penultimate stage. Ogier had been trailing the Estonian by just 1.5 seconds at the time of his incident. Takamoto Kasuta's strong run combined with Ogier's exit saw him finish 4th overall and 41.2 seconds behind Norville. A solid finish for the Japanese driver before his home event next month. Gregor Monster climbed to 5th in his M Sport Ford Puma Rally 1 hybrid, equaling his career best result after Sami Pajari rolled his GR Yaris on Superstage 15, the 13th and final round of the 2024 WRC season. Rally Japan takes place in Aichi from 21st to 24th of November. And with the Central European Rally, that's how we wrap up Sunday Express Sports. Thank you so much for watching. But remember to catch up the action, follow the action between Kenya's Under-17 women's soccer team Junior Starlets taking on North Korea in their second match of the Under-17 FIFA World Cup in Dominican Republic. We wish them all the best. Thank you so much. I'm Bernardo Kumo. Have a lovely week ahead.
Well, Well, as we put a cap on matters, Sunday Express, I wouldn't have wanted Bernard to actually leave the studio just yet because there were certain matches that were being played. We had Manchester City taking on Wolves there. We also had Liverpool. Now, because I was on set, I have not quite followed up who carried the day in as far as the Liverpool match is concerned. Well, we can be sure that, yes, Liverpool actually thrashed Chelsea 2-1. Well, those are the updates. You can be sure to check our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke, for further details on stories that are making headlines in the political scene as well as the sporting arena and business. Have yourself a fantastic Sunday ahead, and remember, tomorrow is a holiday, so please don't rise up too early. Have a great one. I'm Regina Manyara.
Ndio ngao ya jasho lako.